Hi everybody, it's Diana with stampingwithdie.com. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a twist. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. And today is what I call Mimeograph Monday with a twist. So if you've not been here before, it basically means I'm going to do a project out of the catalog and try to figure out how they made the card. And then I'm going to do a twist on it. So I'll be doing two projects today. And this is so much fun and I love getting requests. So if you have a project in one of the current catalogs that you want me to do, just let me know, and if I have the supplies, I will do it. And it is fun to figure it out, and it's always fun to see just doing that little bit of a twist, what it can change, right? So I love the catalog. It is so full of ideas. And speaking of catalogs, the new mini and celebration that's going to be starting in January, I will be placing my catalog order on the 28th, so November the 28th. So if you've not placed an order with me and you're expecting a catalog, you want to make sure you order at least 50 before tax and shipping by November the 28th. If you have not ordered since June, because if you've not ordered in the past 6 months, I just figure you're ordering from another demonstrator and then you'll get your catalog from them. But if you're thinking you're going to get it from me and you have not ordered, holler at me. I'll let you know, like, yeah, you're on my list, or no, you're not. But you still have time because, well, today is the 28th. So you just want to make sure that you order, because I am going to be placing my catalog orders. So if you have any questions, let me know. All right, so I'm going to turn my camera. Close your eyes for a second so I can get adjusted. Try to do it pretty quick so you don't get too seasick. All right, that looks fairly straight. Get my mouse out of there. All right, very good. Okay, so also, since it's almost the end of the month, this is my host code. I always mention it at least once a week. If you are placing an order of $150 or less before tax and shipping, please use that code, and that allows me to continue to send goodies and guts. If you're ordering more than $150 before tax and shipping, then don't use the code, because then you will get the hostess benefits. All right. Also, I'm about half full for my virtual spring social. That's going to be in February. So you can get more information on my blog, and my blog address is over here. And if you are interested, I would love to have you join me. It is virtual. It's through a Zoom platform. It will stream live into a private Facebook group. I do tape it, so if you can't join us that day, don't worry about it. There'll be a private link I will send you, and it will be a YouTube video that you can follow along at your leisure. Alrighty. I think that's all the blabbing I need to do. Okay, so the card I'm going to do is this one right here with the cute little gnomes. So don't forget, in the back of the catalogs are samples as well, not just in the main, like in the main part. So like when it's talking about the bundle index, there's samples back here too. So this is a card I'm going to do. So I have my recipe all figured out. Some of the stuff that was mentioned, I was like, what? So some things I didn't use, because I was like, if I can't see it, then I didn't figure out where it was, so I didn't use it. All right, so let's get started. All right, so these are what I need. These are my pieces. And we are using, surprise, the blends. All right. Now, what I did do, I did want to speed this up a little bit, because sometimes I think that these are getting a little longer just because I'm doing the two cards. So I did stamp and die cut out pieces today. I don't always do that. Sometimes I do it on camera, but I did do that today. All right, so we are using the Kindest Gnomes, and then it has a matching die we're also using stylish shapes. Now, if I hadn't have read that stylish shapes was used, I would not have noticed it was there. So I did use it though. All right, so let's get our pieces. Don't forget, stamp your envelope. All right, so the basic card is Pool Party. That's our card base. Then we are using the cute gnome DSP. So if you don't have this pack of DSP, you really need to get it because it is so pretty. All right, so we are going to be using this right here. We're also going to be using some of the blending brushes. Now, they also mentioned they used the white craft pad. Again, I could not see where they used it, so I'm not using it. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use some blending brushes. So we're using Daffodil Delight. And, all right, so I'm just getting that ink on here. Then we're just going to rub a little bit off here. And we're simply putting this daffodil in the center. And it makes it look so cool. It just gives this kind of yellow glow. And it almost makes the snowflakes even more vivid. All right, so that's some daffodil in the center there. Then we want Pacific Point. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I have my Pacific Point. So we'll just get some ink on there. Get a little bit off because it's way darker than the yellow. And then I'm going to come out because I don't want to go over too much of that yellow. I want to keep that yellow in there. Okay. I'm going to get some of that off of there before I store my brush. All right. And then the last is a Night of Navy because we are using Night of Navy cardstock. All right, so same thing. Now this is even more darker than the Pacific. And then I'm just coming in from the edges to get that dark there. And it just gives the look of, you know, it's glowing. Okay. Good, good, good. Get that off of there. And then I need to wipe my hands. So I'm just going to move this aside, flip this over. I love the blending brushes, but they can be messy. All right, so hang on a second. Baby wipe. I swear, I don't think I bought as many baby wipes when Eric was a baby than I do now, since I've been a demonstrator. Because they're just so handy. All right, so I think that's good. And that way, when I'm coloring, I'm not getting all of this blending stuff everywhere. All right, so now what we also need to do is some splattering. And I'm going to use the dark Night of Navy, and you're going to want to use the brush side. Now, this is a little, now this already kind of has flecks on it. So, you know, this is like you can or you can't, you know. But this is a little hard on the brush. Now, I don't use the brush side to color very often, so I don't worry too much about it. All right, and all you do is you take the lid and you're just going to flick the pen in the lid, and that just flicks out even more. So see, you can see all these little splatters, and it dries so quickly because it's an alcohol marker. But so now we have this base all ready to go on our card. All right, but let me get my pieces. So we have all our little pieces here. All right, that's going to go on the inside. And I got my die cut pieces. I did my Night of Navy for my die cuts. All right, so let's color our little gnome. Now, they didn't mention flirty, but his nose didn't look yellow. You know, they mentioned daffodil. So I just chose that, okay, I'm making mine flirty. So dark flirty, and then light flirty. And then I'm like, oh, here he is. I'm like looking for my finished one. All right, so then we have soft suede and light soft suede, and that's going to be for his shoes as well as the lantern. So this is the dark soft suede. So if you're just joining, this is Mimeograph Monday with a twist, and this is on page 76 of the mini catalog. So we are doing the cute little gnome card. So this is the first card. So this is my catalog, how I think the one was made in the catalog. And then after I do this one, I will do my twist, where I just change it up and try to make it cuter. That sounds bad because I would never want to hurt anybody's feelings, because I love all the samples in the catalog, but it's fun to put your own twist on things, right? Everybody has their own taste. All right, so we also want some, this is the daffodil, so dark daffodil. So his little sleeve, and he's got a little sleeve here, and the light in the lantern is daffodil too. And then we'll just finish the side with the light. All right. Now, the Night of Navy, like I said, it was really, really dark. So I'm only going to put a little bit of the dark on his hat, because I'll do most of it with the light. But I will come in and just put a little bit here and there, but like I said, it's super dark, so I don't want to overpower our little guy. So then I'll finish it with the light, because just like the Night of Navy, you know, it's a really dark cardstock, so the Night of Navy blends is dark too. But the light one isn't too bad. It's kind of like a nice dark blue jean color. I know my husband prefers dark blue jeans. I know they get lighter as you wash them, but he likes to start out with dark ones. He doesn't like them to be faded right from the get-go. So this is a nice kind of a blue jean color, because the dark Night of Navy marker is more like the cardstock. So we'll just finish so you can see where the dark was. So it just leaves a little bit, you know, so it's got a little bit of a shadow. All right, and then the little guy's beard, I'm just going to use the light smoky slate, and I'm just simply drawing some lines. So I'm leaving some of it white and then some of it gray, and that's simply, he's done. So he's super easy. Okay, excuse that noise. All right, so let's put this together. All right, so we have the inside of our card, and where did I put my seal? Here it is. All right, so we have the inside of our card. So on the inside, this little strip of DSP, and I'm going to put it on the side instead of along the bottom, like that. We'll trim just so it has a little bit of the same DSP that's on the front. Now I didn't sponge it or anything like that. I just left it, you know, its regular color. All right, so we have our inside. As I throw it all over my desk. All right. Oh my gosh, these things are everywhere. Okay. So we have the inside. Now I didn't stamp anything on the inside because I kind of like to leave them plain, and then I can use it as a note card. All right, so we have this fun little glowing DSP. So that goes on here. And then took me a little bit to figure out the dimensions, because there's like a bigger than I usually do, because this is 3 3/4 by 5, and that would usually be what I would do this size, because I would usually do this by 4 5 1/4, but it was a little smaller, so it made more of a frame around the card. So I usually cut copy paper, you know, just, or like old DSP or something, just to get my sizes. Because sometimes you don't know till you get like your main piece. Because once you get your this little guy, then it kind of tells you, okay, well, I have this much space and all that kind of stuff. All right, so let's start to assemble our card. So we have our fun little gnome. And he goes here. So I love this because he has that glow back here that looks like that lantern is doing that. All right, so this is that shape. So I would not have noticed this because I didn't, you know, in the catalog, but that's the only place I could think that they used it. So I thought, okay, so that's what I'm doing. But the ends were flat, so I'm just trimming it. All right, so we also have a couple of these grasses, and they did them in the night of navy. So because it's dusk, right? Like he's got his lantern, so you wouldn't see, you know, necessarily, you know, the color of the grass or whatever, because it would be the dark. So we've got a couple grasses, and I'm just using the green tip glue to stick them on there. Then we have our stems. So I'm putting all these on with green tip glue, and then I'll put the whatchamacallit, the top of this thing, the mushroom cap, I'll put it on with dimensionals. All right. So then this one, oops, dropped it, goes here. And then we'll put our dimensionals. So this one, so both of these cards aren't super hard, but like I said, I did the die cutting and stamping earlier, just so that it sped it up just a little bit. Like I said, I don't do that all the time. Sometimes I do that on camera, but all right, so here's our cute little mushroom caps on there, and then this goes here. So I'm just going to trim my dimensionals so I have a really thin dimensional. They also mentioned, I'll make sure it's on the bottom, they also mentioned adhesive, foam adhesive, and I'm like, where do they use that? And maybe this is what they use that for, right? Instead of cutting the dimensionals, maybe they cut the foam ones instead. All right, so there is that. I probably covered his shoes up just a little bit too much. All right, so there's this. They also used the fine sparkle gems. So where's my pick tool? Right here. So this was fun to come up with the alternative. So hopefully you'll like that when I get to it. All right, so let me get my gems on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So here's the first card. Your kindness did not go unnoticed. Isn't that a cute little saying? And then the inside. All right, so that is the catalog version. So let's do my twist. All right, I am going to use these again. I'm just going to use different colors. I don't need those ink pads. I'm not using those. All right, so let's get the pieces I need for my twist. Ah, look at those colors. Okay. So that other one was, it doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas because it doesn't say Christmas, right? I mean, there's snowflakes, but they're just in the background. But I definitely wanted to do one that was not snowflakes. And we have some cute DSP, the Happy Forest Friends, I believe it's called. And it has mushrooms in it. So I'm like, that's what I'm going to use. So these are all the pieces I need for my twist card. So the card base is Poppy Parade. Even though this calls for, I believe it's Cajun. I didn't think that was Cajun. I'm like not for sure. And my little thing is not handy. But anyways, Poppy Parade looked cute. So that's what I went with. All right, now I'm going to make this be on the bottom this time though, instead of the side. So it'll be like the mushrooms are growing up from the bottom of the card. And then we'll trim our ends off. I also wanted to do the little girl, so that I used one of the different gnomes. Now keep in mind, the gnome dies are carrying over. They originally were on the retired list, but they're still going to be available. But just keep in mind, they won't be in next year's main catalog. So if you don't have the gnome dies, I would just go ahead and get them, because you don't want to miss out, and they could just not have them anymore, right? They might not make it till the new catalog, because like I tell you other times, if you know, if they run out, they can't order more, because they probably will have to order like a bazillion of them, or maybe just half a bazillion, but then it wouldn't be cost effective, right? So I'm just saying, if you don't have the gnome dies, make sure that you get them. All right, so this is going on here. My seal is being a turd. I have to keep using my silicone to get it started, which is not a big deal. All right, so I'm just getting my card kind of ready. Okay, so let's get our little girl. I also did my grass in parakeet, the mushroom caps in poppy, and I did the stems in soft suede just to add some color. So it was extra cute. All right, so we are also going to do different colors for our little girl. So I did keep her, no, I still use the flirty, and so we're doing the dark flirty, and the light. And then I'm going to use dark petal pink for her skin, just so her skin's a little bit different color than her nose. All right, so let's start to color. All right, so we have pool party. So I'm going to do pool party for her little collar and her apron. So her little apron is the dark and light pool party, because I just wanted some really fun, bright colors. Even though winter is coming, I still wanted this to be a fun, you know, kind of cheerful card. And I wanted it to be different, you know, than the darker blue one that we did first. All right, so then parakeet. I'm doing the parakeet because I did parakeet for the grass. So I like to also have it elsewhere on the card. So her little dress is parakeet. All right, so that was the dark parakeet. And then we'll do a light. And then it also kind of is more pleasing to the eye when you've got, you know, the same kind of colors and stuff. It makes it, you know, really professional. And that's what I love about Stampin' Up! Too, right? It's like all the things match, and I'm a big matchy kind of person. So you just know that, you know, this, if you use Poppy Parade, it's going to look like Poppy Parade when you use it throughout. All right, so this is Smoky Slate for her cute little, whatever those shoes are. All right, then her hat. So her hat is going to be Poppy Parade, but I want to add a little bit of light, soft suede in here first. And I like to add soft suede when I do reds because it gives me like a third dark red. And I want the little hair bands red as well. All right, so that was light soft suede. Then I take the dark Poppy Parade and I go right over the soft suede and I go out a little bit more. So this is going to give me like a darker red. So it's going to give me like 3 shades of Poppy Parade. So I go out a little bit and then I'll finish it with the light Poppy Parade. So I don't know why, but brown or any of the browns, it's just like a natural dark. It just makes your red dark kind of naturally. All right, so that was the dark Poppy, and then I'll finish it with the light. And then she'll have her hat all done. So this is the light. And then I'll just kind of scribble into where that dark was, just to soften where they touched, so it's not such a stark change. And then as this dries, it will also lighten up too. All right, so there's that. So see how her hat, you've got that extra dark where that soft suede was. It just gives you this natural darker. So you've got like 3 shades, right? You've got your light, your darker, and your darkest. Okay, so, and let's do her hair. Now, another couple colors that I love to use together are number 400 and 600. And these come in different families of the tones, but I love using them together. So I like skipping a number. So instead of doing 3 and 4, I like to do 4 and 6 because it gives you more of a change and you don't have to blend it. I don't know why, it just looks really, really cool together. And even though you can see like, oh, this one's darker than that one, it's not a big deal. It looks really cool together. So I don't know if it's just 4 and 6, but they seem to be the ones I gravitate to. When I was doing all my little muddy pigs, the mud splatters were number 4 and 6. All right, so this was 6. So I did the whole hair with 6. Then I'm going to come back with the 4, and we're going to go up underneath her hat. And just kind of every other braid, we're just going to give it a little bit of that 4. And then this way, her hair is not all the same color. And it just makes it look, you know, really natural. And that she's been to the hairdresser. All right, so let's bring her up so you can see her, how adorable she is. So isn't she so cute? I could color these gnomes all day long. All right, so let's put our card together. So we've got our card and our little pieces. Let's get our dimensionals. And I loved using the different colors for the, let me stick this on here. I had an extra one. All right. I loved using the colors for the mushrooms. I just loved that sparkle, not sparkle, but that pop of color. All right, so we're gonna put our grass on. So it's gonna be kind of similar. I did my greeting with a circle from the Stylish Shapes just because I wanted her to say something different, and it's a bigger greeting. So the circle worked perfect. All right, so we're gonna put the grass like she's standing in the grass, just like the little guy. But look at that parakeet. I love this green. Oh my gosh. All right, so we'll stick that there. Then our stems. And I'm just using the green tip glue, just like I did before. So we've got this one here. And then this one. Like, and this one's going up into here, like that. Then dimensionals on the back of my mushrooms. Like that. Because look how fun they are when they have some color going on. But the other one made sense not to because it was dusk, right? It was nighttime, so you wouldn't see. All right, so let's see. Oop, let me put this lid on here. I'm so bad about that. All right, so let's put our greeting. So what I'm going to do is I want the greeting to kind of go like this. So I want to be able to read it. So the mushroom and the gnome are like going over top of the greeting. All right, we also want our bling that now I'm like, what did I, oh, here it is. So I'm going to use the same bling, but I'm going to change the color and we're going to use these light ones here instead. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so there's that one. So let me, again, so this was the catalog version. And then this is my, I need to straighten that a little bit. And then this is my twist. So what do you think? What do you think? So here's the ones I did before, because I always do, you know, do them ahead of time. So I know like, oh, I need to change this or I need to change that. But, I like them both. They're just so cute, and it's the same card, same sizes or whatever, but just a change in the color makes the layers look different, right? Like this looks like a different shape than this just because it's lighter, and you have a dark frame here, you have a light frame here, and it just it changes the whole look of the card. But it is so cute. So hopefully, let me turn the phone so I can say, see, oh my gosh, I almost dropped it. See you later, alligator. Oh my gosh, I have it too tight. It wasn't ready to spin. So let me know what you think. I love them both. I do love them both, for sure. So, so that turned out better, because when I looked at it in the catalog, I'm like, okay, I could kind of see it. So, but when I saw, oh, there was a daffodil, I'm like, okay, so there is a yellow. It just wasn't, because, you know, sometimes when you take a picture, you know, the colors aren't quite accurate, so the recipe definitely helped. If you want the recipes, they are on my blog, over here. You can get the recipes and download the catalogs on my blog. All right, so I'm going to say see you later. I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, 3 o'clock Arizona time. same time, same channel. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.